Hello everyone, welcome back to Base Damage. Hope you are all doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at the results for Santiago, Chile. Chile. If I butcher that, I apologize greatly. A little bit late on this one because this happened last weekend. As of the recording of this is literally the 27th. But since we didn't have another tournament coming up this week, I decided to record it this week. So we do have this coming up weekend though for February 1st and 2nd. We have Germany and Rosemont coming up, so I'm going to be a little bit more timely on that. However, coming up shortly, Tampa. Me and Joe are going to that still. But let's take a look at Chile. There's a couple things to talk about for this that I think need to be discussed for more than just me showcasing a tournament report. Like, obviously, I like to show off which decks win and everything, but I feel there's two things in here in the Chile results specifically that I feel need to be discussed. Also, this is going to kind of lead into another video coming out later this week. Y'all see when I get to it. So first two things we do need to talk about. First off, Bushiroad Summerfest has been announced from May to September. They have the format and everything up here, which we will be coming back to and talking about in a little bit here. So this is going to be something we're going to come back to that they are posting up stuff for on their site. But also on the Bushiroad site, I figure we would come over here really quickly to see if there was anything banned in Santiago, Chile. And there were a couple things. So we could not use Adventure Time. You could not use Marvel as per usual. But you also could not use Danmachi. Not like that was extremely meta-defining, but you've seen Danmachi pop up a couple times. And I know there's people in the Discord that do enjoy running Danmachi. Some other people who've joined the Discord recently trying to work on a Danmachi list. So it's not like it's something that players aren't looking at and working with. I don't think it's meta warping or anything of that nature, but I do feel it's something worth mentioning. So when we go to this, just keep that in mind. Adventure Time, Danmachi, not allowed, but let's get looking into this because, oh boy. Another reason I wanted to talk about this later on was because also last week we got the English conference, which included the ban list. I'm going to come back to this later, but I just want to point out we have a slime deck winning in Chile that was not a Muron build. Let's just pointing that out here. But we had 51 players, so congrats to everyone who went out to that. That is really awesome. So we have Slime winning in first place with Milim and Benimaru. Second place was a Hololive deck with Miko Sora. This is the second thing that I wanted to talk about. I was actually very surprised to see this list, and we will talk about that in a second here. Third place was Watame Marin. Really awesome setup. A JoJo 8 standby. Really cool to see this. Shout out to my brother in arms here, Konosuba Darkness in fifth place. Me and Cowboy were just immediately just like, yeah, let's fucking go. Just really cool to see that. We have Azure Lane in sixth place with Shimakaze, Zuikaku, and Shinano. Spy Family 8 Pants, and Hollow Live with Chloe Marin. I'm very well versed with this list. I'm certain a lot of other people are as well. But let's give credit where credit is due. So obviously with the slime deck with Benimaru, the specific Benimaru that I think people are not as familiar with is this particular level 2 Benimaru. It works with a standby. So this is a salvage standby deck. It's a 2/155 if all of your characters are Demon Continent. This gets 4,500 power, making him a 10,000 with Character Encore. Extremely easy to get out, extremely easy to keep on field. Honestly, it's kind of nuts. But he has a climax combo when Black Flame that illuminates darkness is placed in your climax area. If this is in your center stage and your level has a yellow and a red card. Extremely easy to pull off in this, especially because one of the Soes lets you level correct. It's kind of nuts. Choose one of the following effects and perform it. Either you can choose one of your Demon Continent characters and stand it, meaning you could summon a level 3 with a standby and then just immediately be able to attack with it that turn. So trying to really push for damage early on, it's very possible. Or you can put the top card of your stock into the waiting room and deal 1 damage to your opponent. So it's weird, just why not just say pay 1? It just feels like that's extra. I don't think that there's like any reason to not have just a, like, you may pay 1 stock to burn 1. I don't know. It's because it's like on play of the climax. It's just kind of like, you could just put, you may pay cost, pay 1. I don't know. It's just really weird. But either you can burn 1 or you can stand something that was summoned off of a standby, which more than likely you're pulling off the first effect because you're playing a standby, unless you're at that point where your center stage is just absolutely amazing and you need to summon something like the Shuna or something off the standby into the back row. Then it's whatever. The level 1 combo being this Millum, which is very oppressive. It's a 104k. During your turn, she gets an extra 2k. And on attack, if the salvage is in play, you get to choose 1 level 0 or lower character in your opponent's backstage, put it into their waiting room. So just immediately just snipe out a level 0 brainstorm, assist, whatever. The list goes on. You could just hit so many different things. And then reveal the top card of your deck if it is a particular event named Octogram or a Demon Continent character, put it into your hand. Obviously, Homeboy is not running Octogram, but every card in the deck otherwise is a Demon Continent character, so it doesn't matter. Just really strong, amazingly good like utility stuff in here, just in general. But it still carries the Muron level 0 and Shuna level 2 package. He's running 2 copies of it because it has the one here, and this is the SR version. So it's still running the Shuna package. Just saying, it seems to not be limited to just Muron problems now, is it? That ban list did fuck all. And this one before the ban list hit. I just want to point that out really quick. So the other thing that I really wanted to talk about was the Sora deck. One of the major things, which I do want to come back to the summer announcement, one of the things that people have been talking about recently with this particular Fall Fest and just the singles, regionals, and everything leading up to Worlds, there's been a big change that a lot of players have been complaining about. And something I do want to talk about in later videos and whatnot, but this deck surprised me because of that. So the particular thing, and this is still true even in this, let me find the specific thing for Weiss Schwarz, the format, 3 players in each team and everything, just to show like that this is still going to be a thing for teams. If you scroll down to time, Swiss, 35 minutes per round. A double time up policy, a double loss will be issued to both players for the Swiss rounds, which is still, teams and everything. So this has been a thing going on for the regionals up until this point. And a lot of people have been screwed over by it. We've talked about it on podcast episodes. We've bitched about it in the Discord plenty of times. This is something that really needs to be changed. And people have been advocating for a little bit more time. I think they did bump it up. I want to say it was 30 minutes before. Feel free to correct me in the comment section. I want to say it was 30 minutes per round before, and they bumped it up to 35. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I feel like even this needs to be a little bit longer. But I do not like the double loss condition here. And then obviously they say no extra time will be awarded. I understand this is to keep events from going way too long, but you really can't help it sometimes because you do scroll down. And so for top cut, they have the typical end of time procedures for the top cut, which is whoever basically has the most damage. I know there's other stipulations to it, but just level with me here. Get it level with me because of the damage. Anyway, but whoever is higher in damage is the one that loses. That's what it should be, not the double loss thing, but that's whatever. It's only for Swiss, but it's still annoying. The double loss in Swiss has knocked people out of being able to go to top cut. It has legitimately done that to several people in our Discord. And then obviously when you get to finals, there will be no time limit for the final match. I do like that they have that, and I do like that for Top Cut, they do have the end of time procedures like normal, but you're also working with a fewer number of players. I was going to say a lot fewer, a fewer number of players with Top Cut, as opposed to, having like 200 people for like, some of the regionals we've had this year so far. But that's one of the things. Because of that double elimination with time loss, I really, really want to give kudos to the guy who got second place with this, because the Sora decks are a stall deck. The Sora works with Alzorano Symphony. Basically, when this is placed on stage from your hand or deck, you can pay 1 to summon another copy of itself, and you're able to basically pump out 3 copies of this very easily. When Alzorano Symphony is placed on your climax area, if you have a full field, this gets 1,000 power and the following ability until the end of your opponent's next turn. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, choose one of your opponent's characters, and that character gets -2 soul till end of turn, which is really cool. It's honestly a fun deck, and I've built it. I built another version of it and have messed with it greatly. And this is running the Miko engine with standby, basically trying to standby in, where'd you go? This level 2 Sora at level 1. Sit on it, hopefully not go to level 2 just yet, and then use this effect because it has a change effect to summon 1 copy of this Sora from your hand, and then proceed to summon 3 of them. And because they're level 3s at level 1, you can side and still get off plenty of damage without getting anti-changed like a mug. But the negative soul stuff doesn't feel as viable when it comes to this whole double loss for both players if you go into time. And maybe this person ended up going into time like one, or maybe ended up having to suffer from that once or twice. But the fact that he got all the way to the finals and got all the way, to second place with this, despite having to deal with the double loss during Swiss, I really, really want to commend them, because we've been looking at this and other like strategies and deck builds like this that rely on -2 soul just feels like a really, really bad thing. So I'm happy to see that this actually got there. I want to give this dude the props, like, all day. Obviously, the slime player won in the end. Congrats to them. Kudos. I just feel this guy fought a very, very crazy uphill battle. So I just want to give a bigger shout out to them. You did awesome. But once again, if you didn't have this whole double loss thing, I wouldn't be having to make that kind of a statement to begin with. Anyway, let's move on. Watame, level 1. So, third place, modding top end, and the level 1 Watame. My voice is trying to leave me today. So, JoJo 8 standby. Let's take a look at this, because I'm actually not familiar with the climax combos from this. So, it looks like they have Non-Stop Pursuit Jotaro is a 3/2/9K. At the beginning of your attack phase, you can pay 1, sack the standby, and if you do, stand this card, and this gets the following ability until the end of your opponent's next turn that he can't become reversed. Interesting. He's just a big body at that point. Oh, okay. So he gets 1,000 power for each of your other stand characters until the during your turn. So he's pretty big on offense, but he just can't be reversed on defense. Interesting. Okay. I'm certain there's some other applications to that, but it doesn't feel like a lot outright. But standby does not give a shit at the end of the day, let's be real. The other climax combo is with Emerald Splash, 002K. The climax combo, oh, this is really cool. At the beginning of your attack phase, oh, this is really neat for level 0. At the beginning of your attack phase, you can bounce this back to hand and sack Emerald Splash, the standby. If you do, choose one of your other stand users or stand characters and stand it. So being able to do the restand stuff from like level 0 onward, you can go ahead and attack with level 1s and stuff like that. That's kind of nuts. That's really cool. Emerald Splash never misses. So no, that's really freaking cool. And obviously it's pulling from part 3 and part 6. I know there was some standby shenanigans in part 5. I think with King Crimson, but I don't remember I don't remember all the stipulations for it. But anyway, not asking. I'm just stating for a fact. I know you can run the stuff with it, but it seems to work much better with just parts 3 and 6. Then we have the waifu Darkness build. We have to shout this out. Looks like they are rocking the Setting Out Darkness Climax combo. My internet is still loading stuff. But it is the when this card attacks, if first incitation is in your climax area, you can pay 1 stock, which the climax gives you 1 stock anyway. This gets 2k power and the following ability to end of turn. Up to 1 time per turn, when damage dealt by this card is cancelled, you may deal 2 damage to your opponent. So a little bit extra burn. And the level 1 combo is Iron Wall Crusader. When the battle opponent becomes reversed, if you have Subduing Even My Heart is in your climax area, search your deck for 1 adventure or magic character. So Subduing is a wind, so we have 4 wind and 4 of the double crit. Choose a yellow card from waiting room, put into stock, and all your characters get a soul for first incitation. And that is going to be it. I do think this is really cool. Once again, congrats to all the players in Santiago, Chile. I really think that's cool. Once again, like I said, because of like the time rules and everything, I'm really surprised that a Miko Sora build got this high. But it looks also like there's kind of already people planning around if something happens to Miran. And it looks like because this was before the ban list. This was pre the level 1 getting added to the choose 1 of 3. So, I just, it seems Slime is not to be taken lightly, whether Miran is involved or not. So let's just keep that in mind, and especially for another video that I'll be working on for later in the week. And that is going to be it for us today. Thank y'all very much for watching. If you participated in Santiago, Chile, please feel free to comment down below if you were one of the people who made it to the top 8, or even if you just went and tried to play in the tournament and just, you know, had a fun time. Feel free to comment down below. It is greatly appreciated. Let us know what you were running. And that is going to be it for us today. Like, subscribe, all that shenanigans, and we will see y'all on the flip side. Stay based.